What's up, Talk Community? It's your girl, Sue Perspective, coming at you live on this beautiful Tuesday morning, noon, or after whatever you're watching this.
Whatever.
Well, I like, when you say things and you have a pattern, but then you kind of like blank for a second. That's where I went. I don't know where it went, but that's where it went. But anyways, hi guys. With me, I have John and Courtney. What's up, everyone? I hope everyone had a great week. And if not, that's rough.
It's only Tuesday.
It's only Tuesday. I think that's the roughest part, is that it is only Tuesday.
No, it really is. Yeah. Man, I don't want to talk about it.
No,
we'll get into it.
Yeah, we could get into it. We could talk about our Tuesday so far. We say hi to Rad in chat. What's going on, Rad? Thanks for being here. Welcome in, everybody. But yeah, today's episode is brought to you by Patreon. Check out our patreon.com/talklimited. Link is in the description. Also, check out our merch store while you're there.
I love a good merch store.
Yeah.
We got some nice stuff.
I love a good merch moment.
Yeah. Rad is saying it's Wednesday for them already, so
that's right.
Good.
Oh, wow.
It's worse then.
Australia might, I think, right? Australia?
Nightmare. I'm sorry.
What was that? What?
Have you folks seen the videos of people acting on their intrusive thoughts? Like when they're like someone's cooking and then all of a sudden they just have the intrusive thoughts of, what if I smash this egg on my face?
Yeah.
And they literally go and do that, and then the other person who's with them is like,
yeah,
what is happening? That was exactly what happened with Sue. She just
she had an
acted on that
intrusive
impulse.
thought. Yeah. Nightmare. What was that?
Have you ever seen that Eric? This might not be like it's Eric Andre, so he's not the most like PC comedian, but basically him and his friend were around a minor of the spectrum. And they were singing nightmare. So that's where that's from.
All together?
Yeah. No, not the kid. They were terrorizing the child.
Okay. All right, that's good. Well, that's the show. Good night, everybody.
I love that skit.
I have the worst intrusive thoughts. Mine are usually around power tools, and it's like, I wonder if I put my hand on this drill if something will happen. Like that, I don't want to act on those.
No, you shouldn't.
No.
I think I act out most of my intrusive thoughts, especially with sounds and random like aneurysms.
That's called Tourette's.
I don't shit. That explains so much.
But I think most of my intrusive thoughts are like, what if I just really told you what I was thinking right now? Just really laid into you.
Try it.
Like, no, I don't want to get fired.
Oh.
I like my job.
Okay. Oh, you meant at work. I thought you meant with us.
No, I always tell you what I'm thinking. This is a safe space. And I also don't feel the need to rip into you.
Oh,
but
good.
Some people.
Yeah, I think my intrusive thoughts are usually like, what if I just fell down the stairs?
And then you do.
I do.
Yeah. Speaking of intrusive thoughts, what's going on, Ray? Welcome in.
That's a super intrusive
conference.
Yeah, from conference? Nice.
I love that.
Hi, Ray.
What's the line, Courtney, from Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, when he's driving in that monster truck and he sees the guy and he's like, from the
the consulate, right? This is weird.
So the first time Ray and I kind of hung out outside of work after the first conference I ever been to, I think I either got a phone call from him or I hung out with him or something. I'm like, Ray, from conference. And in my mind, I was quoting that.
That's funny.
Yeah, and that's just kind of stuck ever since. I don't think I've ever explained to Ray what the hell I was thinking when I said that. It was an intrusive thought moment, and I just did it.
I'm gonna start greeting you guys like that. John and Courtney from the internet, right? Yeah.
This is weird.
This is weird. Yeah. Wow, I thought that was OC. Oh fuck. All right. Yes, it's original.
Original character?
Original content?
Original content.
Oh, this is not The Sims. I'm so sorry. Or A3, not A3. Wampad, whatever.
E3. Electronics Expo, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
What's
What?
Wampad?
F it. Wampad.
What's Wampad?
Don't worry about it.
All right.
Okay.
Having kids is weird.
I mean, so you have a video on the
AO3.
internet listing all the different characters from an anime you want to bone. So
That list still stands. It's still pretty accurate. Yes, AO3. That's what I meant. Thank you, Cosmic.
what's this show about? Sue, what is this show about?
I'm so glad you asked, Ray. God, I love a simple segue. Jesus. So today, we're going to talk about I don't want to be a big person anymore. Do you want to roll that clip, or is that what that is?
I don't have a clip to. I mean, I can. Yeah, sure.
You want to roll that clip? It's not like we can see it or anything.
It's not. It wasn't my plan to roll it.
If you don't like it, I can have you fired!
Oh God, this is too real.
I feel like I'm back at work. What's happening?
If you don't like it, I can have you fired! I'm getting out of here! Chucky, come back! Get that
Oh my God, their bodies.
Wait, Chucky, wait! Wait up, Chucky! No, Tommy, I'm getting out of here. I want to be little again. I don't want to be a big people anymore. Don't worry.
Yep, I don't want to be a big people
Same.
anymore.
Chucky was
people.
always my favorite. He was always my favorite growing up, and I now see why. It says a lot about my character. No, but the other day, my dad gave me a flash drive, and this flash drive quite literally had my whole childhood on it. From like the moments I could make memories to, I want to say like high school, like the early parts of high school.
Mm.
And I'm looking through all these pictures and I'm like, dang, like that is me. But at the same time, it is not me. And I can remember like a lot of the mindsets that I had, the goals I wanted, the dreams I had, the friends that I was with, the things I didn't like that I now like. And I was like, this would be a great stream topic if we just collectively came together with old baby pictures and just like, and adolescent pictures and just kind of talked about like what we were thinking back then versus now, just because I think this is a very like relatable thing. And
Yeah. So since this was a topic of choice it was a brainstorm between the two of you. Let's start with you, Sue. What were you thinking at this moment in life?
That's a good question. I think I want to say this was at my cousin's house. First up, love the baby pink, literally my favorite color now. And we'll talk a little bit more about that color later because it's anyways. But this was before I developed melanin. I think I was 1 here.
Okay.
I still had very curly hair. I still look incredibly Asian, but I definitely darkened out over the years. What was I thinking?
Yeah.
Oh my God, the camera's out. Stop. I was a happy baby. Fun fact, I was very quiet for most of my adolescence. I want to say up until middle school. I was just like, I mean, I was a ham, but I was very quiet. I never cried. I was always happy. Now I cry a lot. I'm still very happy, but I be sobbing. I cried last night.
You're making up for all those years of not crying in your youth.
That Asian stigma, you know. I'm a rainbow golden baby, so that's probably right.
About what point in life did you realize, oh, I could be loud and obnoxious and people will still tolerate me?
The very second people were like, you have a good stage presence. You can sing and you can act. And I said, shit, man. That's wild. So middle school probably was when I started speaking and being a little more like into my own person, because all throughout elementary school, I know they said on my report cards, they were like, she talks in class. I swear to God I wasn't talking in class, but I do believe them. But I was a very well-behaved kid. I didn't like outstretch anywhere, but it was the second someone like handed me an opportunity, I was like, shit, man, attention. Okay.
Don't look at me, look at me.
Don't look at me, but look at me. Stop,
but don't stop.
But yeah, she's so cute.
Very cute. All right, let's see who else is cute. Who do we have right here? Let's see.
Yes. This is gonna be fun.
So that is I mean,
Take a guess.
Unmistakably.
Everyone guess. That's John.
That's me.
That's John.
Can't
What
you
were you
tell
thinking,
by
John?
When I had my long
God.
straight hair and I used chopsticks at 1 year old. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that's you.
First of
Go
all,
ahead, Court.
were you using chopsticks as a baby?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I-
Well,
Say it.
here's the thing.
I'm 36 years old and I still use chopsticks like a baby. So
Well, to be fair, you were not Asian.
No,
You didn't
it's
have,
true.
you didn't come out the womb ready. Just kidding. For me, I actually so I learned chopsticks still fairly late considering, but I mean, if you look at them,
yeah.
I don't really have any food in there, so you don't know if I was actually properly eating food or just holding the damn chopsticks.
What were you thinking at this point in life?
I mean, obviously, I'm very happy because one, I'm eating. And if any of you get to meet me in person, you will learn that food is basically the reason, my reason for living.
Yeah.
I love food. I love to eat. I mean, it makes me happy dance when I'm finally eating some food. So here I can tell that I'm really excited. Although I don't know if you can probably see behind me that there is a shit ton of stuff in the back of me. So this is when we were living with my grandparents in Papakolea. There was so many people in this house that I'm pretty sure it did not meet code standards. I mean, they turned the the garage, which was a huge garage, into an actual living room with beds in it
That
to house
sounds
all of us.
awesome.
It wasn't even part of the actual house yet. And so I was just happy to be eating and being with my family. And then, of course, I like Sue. I liked having the attention. The camera's in my face. I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm
You're hamming it up. You're so cute.
Oh yeah, I was the most obnoxious child as far as energetic, excited. I was Miss Social Butterfly. I was talking to strangers.
Don't do
I would
that.
just talk to. In hindsight, not great, but I would just talk to everybody, and I just loved everybody. So in that moment, I mean, there was no care in my eyes. There was.
I barely see them.
She could say that. She could say that.
I can say that.
It's so true, though. It's so true.
I like Ray asking, how is the chopstick company still in business after the fork and spoon were invented? Is there a niche market of consumers that still want to eat only 3 grains of rice at a time?
Okay, so you're eating rice wrong. If you're
You can't eat
Folks,
rice.
with rice, when you're eating rice with chopsticks, the whole goal is usually it's in a bowl and you're supposed to scoop. You're not supposed to individually grab.
Dude,
It's actually just for the aesthetic.
I
Yeah.
feel like Ray knows this. He watches more anime than anybody I know, and in all anime, they always show they grab the whole bowl and they like shovel it into their mouth. Even I
Yeah.
know that, Ray.
Damn.
Yeah.
Fake fan.
wrecked.
Fake fan.
Imagine.
Yeah,
Imagine watching anime.
exactly.
Yeah.
Fucking got him.
Wrecked. Oh, this is cutie.
So,
He's gonna be such a man killer.
man
woman
killer.
Wait a minute.
I mean, I'm sure
I
the men love me too. Who knows? But
I did that with confidence.
yeah, this is me at age 1. I think it's 1.
1.5.
Yeah, you can tell by the blank expression on my face that I don't know there's a camera facing me.
Mm.
You can also tell that I'm sitting there with a pen and paper in my hand because I love drawing ever since I was a kid. Big titted women, no heads.
Oh,
This is the probably the beginning of it. I don't actually know for sure.
what were you thinking?
Where am I? So
What is this?
this is not
Why
my
am I
house.
here?
Yeah, this is not my house. This is in Mexico. This is where
Aw.
this is a fake pic. That baby has no goatee.
That's funny.
this is in Mexico. Growing up and even up until I think probably my late high school, late high school, I would always go to Mexico every Christmas and every summer. So this is at my grandma's house. More than likely, probably there's a cousin next to me cropped out because consent. There's no
Of course.
Yeah. I was a timid child. I did not like having my picture taken until, well, it was like a bell curve. I enjoyed it, and then I hated it, and then I enjoyed it again. Now I kind of hate it again.
What are we doing here?
I know, right? No, well, this is different. This is like he likes
true.
to be live. But the moment you try to ask this man to take a picture with you, oh my god!
I do not like taking pictures. So I'm a big believer that the camera steals your soul. So no, I don't believe that.
Okay, I was about to say we are in the wrong profession.
I know.
Can everyone, if they're comfortable, say what year they were born? Because we all picked photos where we're all the same age, but clearly that is not the case right now.
1972. No, that's not true.
Oh,
that's not true. You believe that?
That's a very specific year.
I just went with it. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to judge. Yeah. That doesn't sound correct, but okay.
Yeah, I'm 51 years old now.
Technically, you'd be 50, but okay.
Oh.
No, it's 2023.
Oh, yeah, you're going to be 50.
Yeah, that would make me 50.
I can't do math.
No, but you were on the right path, I think.
I was born in 98.
98?
Yep.
Bebe.
Are you legal?
Shut up. I'm barely a 90s baby. Barely.
Unfortunately, you're a 2000s kid, my friend. You grew up in the 2000s.
I think I grew up in a weird period where I got a good taste of both, but definitely more the 2000s. But I can remember some of like the 90s stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Courtney?
I was born the year 1991.
Yes, ma'am.
91.
That's a 90s baby.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm a 90s baby, but my parents were stuck in the 80s, so for a good chunk of my life, I thought I was an 80s baby.
For the good chunk, she had no idea what year it was.
Yeah, pretty much.
She'd go to school and put 1985 and be like, Courtney, what are you doing? And she's like, I don't know. All the records in my house say 1985 copyright. I don't know. I was born in 1986. So I'm old.
Nice.
I'm old.
You're not old.
I was born in the mid 80s. That's around the time the world started to actually populate and have people. So before me, it was mostly dinosaurs, and then me, and then you folks,
and the stranger kids walking around fighting demigorgons.
Demigorgons. There was a lot of demigorgons. It was very, very creepy, very scary. It was a strange time to be alive.
Richard Nixon.
Yeah,
I don't know.
1986 was Reagan.
Reagan.
Wasn't it?
I don't know.
Bush.
We weren't there, John.
I know. I barely was too. Look at me. I don't know what the hell's happening here.
Where am I?
That's the same look I get from him sometimes too in current times.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I have undiagnosed ADHD. I'm pretty sure I could have done a lot better in school and in life if I would have just had someone
medicated.
Someone look at me. But I had something. But I grew up in the 90s more so than I think you both. I remember the 90s. I heavily doubt either of you remember the 90s.
No, I remember trends and fashion. That's about it.
I remember MC Hammer.
No, you don't. You were he was big in 91. You remember it from like
video. My parents.
Yes.
The Too Legit to Quit video VHS.
Yes.
My parents have video of me on the, what is that, Stair Machine? The one that is like,
Stairmaster.
But it wasn't a Stairmaster. It was just the one that had the two leg pieces that you could go, like, you push it and each one to alternate.
Yeah.
And it was like, it looked like hydraulics, but not actual like machine. So there's video of me in a diaper just on that thing, and I barely weigh 10 pounds, so I'm obviously barely pushing down on these steps that require a heavier adult to work out on it. So I'm on it and I'm dancing to Too Legit to Quit because that was my favorite video.
That's why your ass is fat.
That's why. And then Baby Got Back would come on and be like, "This my shit."
Hey.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Right.
But I remember Too Legit to Quit because that was my favorite video to watch over and over and over again.
But the way that I would describe it though is 1990 is when or the 90s is when I was like outside in the world. And both of you were like outside in the world in like the late
our own little world.
Courtney, you were probably outside in the world in like the early 2000s, and Sue, you were probably much later. mid 2000s.
Mid for show.
So like I remember a time before the internet. And I'm sure like before the internet even existed. And I remember getting the internet at school and being
that's a big deal.
I remember that too.
And being told being taught how to use it. And then I would spend my entire break first break before not lunch, but first break in school in the library printing out page after page after page of tutorials or walkthroughs for Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and wasting all their fucking ink.
I love that.
Smooth.
And getting away with it because nobody watched what I was doing.
Well, yeah, as you should.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I love that.
Yeah. I remember in
oh no.
I remember in middle school, this was after, so that story, the one about and being in the library, I was going to private school, but I remember being in middle school when I first moved and being in a public school and then having computer class and being on the internet and being taught like search terms. And I remember they were like, if you want to search something, all you have to do is go to altavista.com and type in what you're searching for. Yeah. Do you guys know what AltaVista is?
No.
I know Vista.
It's not Vista. It's
Fuck you.
AltaVista is a search engine before Yahoo existed, before Google existed, before Bing existed. We had AltaVista and Ask Jeeves. And I think
I remember Ask Jeeves.
Yeah, that shit isn't around anymore either. Ask Jeeves probably came out along the line, like around the time of AOL, I think, though. Yeah. But I remember we'd go on AltaVista and be like, okay, I'm gonna find something. And I'd be like, oh, what was I really big into back then? Wrestling. So I was like, I'm gonna find The Rock. And I type in The Rock. And just be a bunch of pictures of rocks. I'm like,
rocks?
Yeah. The internet fucking sucks. It was
John, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Did you have in your computer class, because I remember the very big, bright, colorful Macs when they finally came to my school. I remember that being a huge thing for the computer lab.
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember, well, for your computer class, did you have to do the typing?
Yeah.
Where they would like calculate how fast you could type?
Yeah. So my computer class in private school, before the internet existed, literally before the internet existed, we had desktops that weren't definitely not colorful Macs because those didn't exist yet. Our screens, I think we were running Windows DOS on some of them. So we had floppy disks.
I remember those too.
The 3.5 inch floppies. Okay, well we had big floppy disks, like huge ones, and
yeah,
then you'd
I remember those.
You'd put them in the little machine, and then you'd push the little button in and go. And then like we'd play a game, and then like you would hit commands, and a little fucking turtle would go. They called it a turtle. It looked like an arrow, and it would make shapes, geometric shapes. Like what the fuck is this? But yes, we had typing class.
I had typing class,
and they would take the wooden plank and they would put it over our hands so that we wouldn't be able to see where our fingers were.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Did you also figure out the cheat that if you click on the window of the program that you're supposed to be doing the test on, so my classmate found out that if you hold your mouse on the window, because he typed slow, but he was smart and he figured out that okay, if you hold your mouse on the window of the program,
it pauses the program.
Well, it cheats the program and makes it that you type faster than you actually type.
Oh.
So he was ended because in our class you needed to have, I forget what the words per minute were to pass.
Right.
I think it was like 70 or something or higher.
70 sounds average. I think my words per minute is for like 70 to 80. I think.
Yeah. So I think in order to, because this was elementary school for us, so we had to have like 70 to pass, and he would hold it, press down, slowly, like letter by letter, type out this whole phrase. And then by the end, he would have 75 words per minute and he would pass.
That's awesome. No, I didn't.
Students get degrees, man. I'm telling you. Think smarter, not harder.
Right?
Well, since we're talking about school, what about was this?
I regret submitting that photo.
Do you?
I remember very vividly.
You look like a little anime kid. You're like doing your little anime smirk.
Can you
With the
please look
little
at the
pigtails?
eyebrows?
You're like,
There.
like I feel like you're gonna start doing like weird motions on like a TikTok video, and like mimicking an anime video or some shit.
I mean, kind of. I'm not gonna lie. And this was before TikTok was even the thing. This was like Vine era. So this was my freshman year of high school, which was like the 2013.
Oh my God.
This is why you're so bright-eyed here. You're like, my future is bright.
But I was definitely like, I wanted to be seen in emo, but I knew that my parents would quite literally beat it out of me. So I just got away with like a fringe and straight hair and like kind of dark eye makeup and like a gray hoodie, you know, all that fun stuff. But this was taken at my local laundromat because my boyfriend at the time worked at the laundromat. I know, very scene homes. Yeah. Anyways, very coming of age type of background. But yeah, it was definitely fun fact, my boyfriend who worked at the laundromat was also president of the anime club, and I was his girlfriend. So, you know, hierarchy things, you know, like whatever.
Oh my God.
So that was really cool.
This is really cringe. I mean, this is cute.
Thanks.
That's great. Sue, were you as loud as you are now back then?
Oh no, I wouldn't say loud, maybe like oddly obnoxious, but in an endearing way, but still like my noise level had not peaked yet.
Ray saying, what a power couple.
They ruled the school, obviously.
The best part, so obviously like we broke up because duh, you either die together or break up. And we broke up like 2 years or like year and a half into the relationship. Pretty long for like
that is really long.
It's
yeah.
pretty long.
Yeah.
But he was president of like a bunch of clubs because he knew that he wasn't smart. So to make up for it, he did a lot of extracurriculars. So like, you know, college apps and things. So it looks
That's smart. Are you kidding me?
That's very smart.
He was like, he's like, I'm not a good tester. I'm not good at school. So if I just achieve in all these other things, it'll balance out.
I wish I had that mindset.
So he was also president of the speech and debate club, which I was also a member of. So when he graduated, he was like taunting me. He was like, there's no way that you'll surpass me, da 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 da. And I love a challenge and I love to spite. And he had never he had medaled in speech and debate, which was very difficult to do because back then it was very competitive. Not only did I medal in like every tournament, but I also got first in the state. And I said, suck my balls. And that was right after we broke up too. And I said, that's rough. Imagine.
How fast was his 40-meter Naruto run?
Not faster than mine.
Yep.
Yeah, he was the guy in the neighborhood, or like our town's relatively small, where you knew it was him because he always biked. He never got his driver's license, so he just biked around.
You dodged that bullet.
Yes. Oh my God. He actually now lives in Japan because he's a huge nerd.
Nice. I do have to ask though, have you ever seen a nerd Naruto run in person?
Yes.
Okay.
I was dating the anime club president. Are you kidding me?
She was in anime club. That was like how they entered the room. What are you talking about?
Queen of the weirdos. Excuse me.
Excuse me, weebs. The term is weeb. Thank you.
You're right. Otakus and weebs.
Thank you.
Queen.
Okay.
I did not end up taking charge of that club though. I didn't hate myself that much.
Damn.
I didn't see a nerd Naruto run until I went to college. So I went to a tech school when I was 19 to learn video game design. Ooh. And yeah, but it was an accelerated course, unfortunately. So I felt behind the entire time. So about a year in, I dropped out. It was a 2-year course. I dropped out a year in. So
hey, at least you did half of it.
Yeah, sure. And so I learned colors. I know my color spectrum.
Color theory?
Love that. Color theory. I know color theory. And I think thanks to that school, though, I pick up a lot of editing software very quickly. As long as I look at it for a little while, I can pick up new editing software fairly quickly. But let's either here nor there. The first time I saw a kid Naruto run was literally on my first day orientation. I'm walking and I'm like, okay, there's not much happening today. I'm already settled into my apartment. We're just going class to class, basically meeting our professors and figuring out what there is to do here. What is life? Across the small knoll of grass, I come to find out this guy has been in school for a very long time. I learned this later. He's already older than me, and he is just Naruto running across the grass to his first class. And I basically just kind of inner monologue to myself because I had no friends yet. I said, what the fuck did I get myself into?
John's like, he has no friends and he's judging the kid who's Naruto running.
Okay, but that's like a different level of no friends. You know,
I had no friends because it was my first day.
Right. Like
I have no friends now because I'm a fucking loser. I had no friends then because it was my first day.
Here's my thing. Class. You have to like, if you're gonna be weird, you have to have something to balance it out. Like, hey, if you're in a new Naruto run, at least like, I don't know, have a kegger, something.
No, this guy had a huge brain though. I'm pretty sure he's probably developing video games by now. I'm pretty sure.
He probably lives in a $1 billion mansion on his third wife. I mean, he's probably living it up.
His wife is a body pillow. Come on now. You give too much credit. I'm kidding. Let me stop.
I mean, either way.
I'm projecting.
So am I. But that was the first time I've seen a Naruto run in person. I was like, what the fuck did I get myself into?
He said, God damn.
Yeah. I watched my sister just do it the other day.
I feel like this generation does it ironically, though.
Yes, if they do it, they're cool. And I'm like, what the heck? I got bullied for liking anime. And now it's cool.
Right?
No, I will still bully the shit out of them. I said I will still bully the shit out of them.
Yeah, but they're so immune to negative commentary. They're just like, that's whack, and they like do an L dance on you, and I'm like, you're
they dab on you.
Yes, kids, they don't care. But we'll talk about more of that later.
Yeah,
I want to see more baby pictures.
Yeah, so let me scroll down.
Who's this loser?
That's still you.
I know. So grainy and yellow.
Well, let me see.
Dude, can we talk about, like, I was looking through all of our pictures. They're just, God.
Yes.
I think this is around the same time period.
No, it's not.
Yes.
This is not freshman year?
Nope.
Oh, okay. How old are you here?
That's senior year.
Oh, senior year. Okay.
Aww.
You're blooming into adulthood here.
So middle school going into high school was rough for me because I kept going through these spurts where I would get really chunky and just like shorten.
Your ass is fat.
I would get super chunky and weird and quirky, and I had glasses and I was nerdy. I liked anime.
She'd Naruto run.
I was too chunky to Naruto run. Thank you very much. I liked techno music before it was cool, so I would get short and chunky, and then I would thin out and stretch, and I would start to. It was just
taffy.
It was literally what is that? A xylophone?
Accordion.
Accordion. Thank you. So I would literally. I know that's the wrong musical instrument. I would be an accordion. So through middle school, I got chunky and I had glasses. Nobody liked me, and then finally towards high school, I started to thin out, and I was doing paddling and theater. I was doing robotics. I was super busy. And so finally I was blossoming. And then finally my mom let me get contact.
You're pretty.
And so finally I was really growing into being confident in what I looked like. And finally my eyebrows grew back in senior year.
Oh my gosh.
Stu, I don't know if you experienced this with your mom, but my mom, being so strict and Asian, she was like, you're too young to put on makeup. You're too young to tweeze your eyebrows. You don't need any of that. And this, for me, that stuff was the rite of passage at school. And then I had just gotten into a private school. It was prestigious. I had none of my friends from middle school because nobody else got into this school but me.
Oh,
so I had to make all new friends. And a lot of these girls, most of them were wealthy and from well-off families, so they were all up to date on the makeup and the trends.
Right.
And I mean, most of them. I mean, yeah, in the beginning we all still went through that ugly glitter eyeshadow phase because
It's not ugly.
Sue, when we went through it, it was no. At least the products you have now are better for you. The products we had when they first came out were not body safe. Okay,
yeah, they smelled really bad.
They were bad, but my mom didn't let me do that, so I would try. I tried to sneak tweezing my eyebrows. I didn't know what I was doing. I overdid it. I didn't post any of the pictures here, but there's a whole phase of me where I had hockey sticks for eyebrows. It was literally just that.
I love that.
And it was so like it was so bad, and my mom wouldn't let me even fill it in or draw them in because she was like, you know what? She's like, you're gonna live with your shame, so this is what it's gonna be. But that was oh my god.
Here's my thing though about, because I have this gripe all the time, because when I look at social media, kids that are like 14 look like our age. Yep. And because they grew up with exposure to the internet and seeing us doing makeup and beauty and jewelry. But like, I look at pictures like this where you were allowed to just like live in the shame but not know that it was shame. You're just like, yeah, like I look dope with my hockey sticks and my split ends and my glittery eyeshadow.
No, I knew it was shame, but I had no choice but to live with it. So I was like, either laugh with it or I had to. Yeah, I went with it because I had
but like,
to.
nowadays they're like, no, you got to fill it in. You got to contour. I'm like, you're 12.
Yeah.
What? Who's where's your mom?
Oh, where's your parents? Why don't they let you live with that?
My mom, she let me start wearing makeup in middle school because around that time, that's when all the other girls started wearing makeup. And she gave in. She was like, man, like if you're going to do it, at least let me teach you how to do it. So that way we were both on the same page. So she bought me my first like eyeshadow kit and taught me how to fill my stuff in. Granted, still was not correct, but hey, at least it wasn't like horrendous. You know, at least I wasn't walking in with raccoon eyes to be like, hey guys, what's that?
That was a look back then. What do you mean?
It was a look, but not for her daughter.
Also, John, thank you for showing that picture of me using the Apple store.
Yeah. How did you get that picture if you took it at the Apple store?
So I don't know if you can see how terrible the quality is. If you look at it. So if you go back and look at it.
Well, I mean, you can't because it's real small because it's an old picture, but.
So the reason I got it off the Apple store was I literally took a picture of it.
Oh, off the screen?
Off the screen. Because obviously I didn't want to send it to myself on a public computer. But I like there was the one before it, I took it off the screen, and then finally my friend got smart and they're like, oh, you can just post it from there, right? And because they're like posting, literally taking the pictures in the Apple store, logging into their Facebook, and then posting it from there and then logging out.
Kids won't even, you can't do that anymore. Like in the Apple store. They don't even know.
Smart.
You can't do that in the Apple store anymore?
No, because when you open up the camera, it opens up a demo where it looks like someone is using the camera. But it's
just finally got smart.
What?
Why do you know this?
You know what? That's really just none of your fucking business. You need to stop asking so many goddamn questions. I'm telling your mom.
This is when that picture was when it was cool to be a like group of kids and loiter in the Apple store and take pictures of yourself, and the Apple fucking workers are just like, I don't get paid enough to watch these fucking idiots.
Where are your parents?
Yeah.
Pretty much, where are your parents? Also, I'm wearing a boy that I liked his hat. Because that was what you did at the time. Yeah. You take their hats and you put it on.
And you're like, oh my god, I'm so quirky. I'm gonna get your headlights.
I'm so tomboy and so cute. Your hat.
I'm one of the boys.
Sad part is though, I was one of the boys. I was literally the only boy in this group because I was the only girl in this group because the boys saw me as one of the boys and not someone worth dating. So.
Photo boys.
We'll talk about more of that later. I want to. Yeah. Next picture.
John, let me see.
Well, I think we moved a little bit too fast. My intention was not to show all of the 18-year-olds. So let's go back first, and then because I don't have older pictures to show. But
show whatever. We're just here vibing.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look first. Well, okay. Well, if we're gonna show mine, we're gonna go backwards in time a little bit again.
Yeah.
God bless.
Okay, let me see. I think I shared it over here.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this one.
Oh!
You look very Mexican in this photo.
I look very Mexican in this photo.
You look very Hispanic.
So again, I'm in Mexico here. You can tell my mom dressed me, tucked in shirt, belt. Yeah. Shout out to that wicker furniture. I know.
Look at it. Damn.
Oh, look at the Ninja Turtle.
Yep.
I have my Ninja Turtle. Yeah.
Gotta start them young, guys.
I went everywhere with my Ninja Turtles. Literally everywhere. I have a picture of me holding a bunch of Ninja Turtles. I'm probably a little bit older in that picture than in this picture, and I couldn't find it for this. But I'm holding them all, and I'm in an airport, obviously, because I'm headed to Mexico again. So, but I am here. My cousin's next to me there. My cousin actually had all these photos. He sent them to me. I was like, what the fuck?
Aww.
So sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So cute. Also I'm not gonna lie, John.
Mm.
When I first saw this picture, for like a split second, I thought there was spam musubi on your shirt.
Those are spam musubi on my shirt.
Good job.
Yeah.
They look like the
like-
striped candies,
in
the striped hard candies.
1988.
It's just that's an 80s shirt right there.
1989
80s
probably.
shirt.
I look maybe 3 years old here, so I'm
Look
probably
like a mall carpet.
probably 1989. Yeah, it does. At the arcade.
Yeah, man.
Oh my god.
But yeah, this is my grandma's house again, and we're playing Ninja Turtles, and we're having a lot of fun. And then they go, let's get a picture of you with your Ninja Turtles and your cousin. I just want to fucking play.
God, stop. You're embarrassing me in front of my cousins. Stop.
Here, just take a picture. I never got embarrassed in front of my cousins because cousins are like forced friends. Like they have to.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You always knew that your cousins would be around no matter what weird shit you do. You know, it's like, oh, you Naruto run for fun, huh? Okay, well, you're still still my cousin, so
I sent my cousin my cousins on my dad's side this picture of this cartoon character carrying a boulder, and it said me, and then the boulder said the weight of being the funny gay cousin. I said, oh, life is so hard. I feel so bad that they had to be my cousin because I was the weird one. Faux show. Anyways,
how are you weird around your cousins?
me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was Naruto running. That's a dumb question.
How about you, Courtney? Do your cousins look up to you, or were you the weird cousin?
Well, to be fair, I come from a very big family, and I was actually part of the younger portion of my cousins. So I was more of the one that they had to watch and babysit on both sides of my family.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, thankfully now I'm in the mid group of cousins, but you know, for me, I was allowed to be. I was the smallest, and of course, you know, I was cute, so I was the one that they were always like wanting to make sure that they took care of me until I started talking, and they're like, God, she won't shut up. But I was the one that more so looked up to my cousins because I was more of the baby than everybody else. But I was always around the older cousins, so I kept trying to be older than I needed to be.
Yeah. My mom is the oldest of her brothers and sisters, but I'm one of the youngest cousins. So like, I'll pull up the other picture. So like, yes. Oh, actually, I'm not in that picture, so I'm not going to pull it up. But there's a photo. I've talked about this before. How going to Mexico during Christmas time, all of the cousins and uncles and everybody would gather around the Nintendo 64, and we would all play multiplayer Nintendo 64. And I have a picture, and it's just 4 of us, but I'm not in the picture. But I could tell that those are my Nintendo 64 controllers. And my favorite cousin is in that picture. He's much older than me. I think he was born in the 70s. So, and I was born in 86. So I always looked up to him. He was who would spend the night, and I'd wake up because I had bunk beds. So I'd be on the top bunk, and he'd spend the night, or spend the summer, I should say, in the bottom bunk. And then I'd wake up to him playing Donkey Kong. And it was, it was awesome. Very cool. Very cool experiences. So I looked up to him. I had cousins that I would always visit. They'd always be mostly older than me. I had one cousin who was around the same age as me, Paola. She is the one that I usually spent all of my summers with, and both of us together were just a handful because she was loud and dramatic and just everything. And then me, I would just feed into it, and I could be myself. Like I remember one day, she went downstairs and I put on her jeans, which were skin fucking tight. And then she came, and then she would just laugh so loud. The entire house could hear her laughing.
Oh, I
They'd be
love
like,
that.
be like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, oh, she's took her
Cute.
see me girl pants. Like, like that kind of stupid shit.
That's cute.
Yeah. So, that was what it was like in growing up, because I mean, like, yeah, I loved all my other cousins and being around them and everything, but there's always something more special being around the ones that you're kind of forced to be with because they're around your same age.
Right.
So she was like my best friend going to Mexico. We would watch scary movies together and yeah. So
That's so cute.
yeah. So I didn't look up to anybody and nobody looked up to me because I was a fucking weirdo. But
Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, yeah. So my cousin in that picture, we're close in age. We're much closer in age now than we were then. I mean, I think he's a year or two older than me, but even then
That's a lot.
Yeah, when you're a little baby, like that's a lot. 2 years
Yeah.
is a lot when you're little.
But now it's like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
We all pay taxes. Got it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He's chasing his dreams and I'm chasing mine. So, but it's funny because you guys talked about, or you mentioned, like, what did you want to be when you were young, and probably this age. This is right before kindergarten, right?
Mm.
So if I think back to my kindergarten age, I remember I wanted to be an architect. And I don't know what put it in my mind that I wanted to be an architect. My cousin now is an architect. And his dad was an architect, I believe. But I don't know if that's the case or not. But like, I wanted to be an architect, and then like we were, I remember, I think it must have been first grade. They're like, okay, everybody, draw what you want to be, and they're gonna hang it up at Fox Hills Mall. Oh, they're showing it at the mall. Oh my god! And then I was like, oh, I'll be an architect. So like I drew buildings, and then like I drew someone building the buildings, and like I remember a kid who just always had to be right. He's like, you want to build the buildings or do you want to architect the buildings? I'm like, I don't know. I'm a stupid kid. So like, I just wanted to make buildings. That's all I knew I wanted to do. Right.
You should have been like, mind your business, Tommy.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the logistics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know if this was the same kid, but I think it was the same kid. In kindergarten, I remember I got my first pair of sunglasses. My dad picked me up from kindergarten and he gave me some sunglasses at kindergarten.
Aww.
And I'm like, I can look into the sun. And he's like, and then, no, you don't look into the sun, obviously. And I'm sure my dad would have caught me before I did it. But the same kid, I'm sure it was the same kid, turns the corner and goes, you actually shouldn't look into the sun with sunglasses. Fuck.
There's always one like that.
In kindergarten, leave me alone.
There's always one. You ever notice that in every school or every grade you go to? There's always that one.
One know-it-all.
Yeah, what made it worse is that he was kind of cool. Yeah, that's what made it worse. Like he was kind of cool. Like he just had his shit together, you know?
You're 4.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I looked into the
that.
sun. Fuck that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look into the sun if I want to.
Yeah. Now I got this weird twitch where I can like blink real hard every once in a while, but I'm sure it's unrelated.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's not your business.
I'm sure it's What did you two want to be when you were younger? Did you want to be on YouTube with me? Is that what your hopes and dreams were?
Legally, we don't have to answer that question.
Not the latter question, the one before it though. Interesting.
I had 2 dreams, and I'll talk about that with the next photo, depending on which one you pick.
Well, it's back to you, so let's see which one we pick. Well, I actually wanted to pick this one.
Okay.
Oh.
Looking like a Monsters Inc.
I hate you. Wait, do you see the most recent one where I actually look like a monster?
Oh.
You look like a monster?
Yeah, that's what you said, right?
No, I like you're like the Monsters Inc. Hazmat suit.
Oh, no, that one.
You don't look like a monster.
That is not a monster. That is I'm a f you up.
Yeah,
face.
you look badass.
There's one where I'm actually screaming, and it's actually kind of scary to look at. At this moment in time, well, I guess it was this was middle school. I think I was 12. So
okay.
2010 is when this happened.
2010.
I think so.
Jesus my God.
Or it might be 11. I don't remember.
I was 24. 23
I
or
was,
24.
I was out of high school. I was a year out of high school. I was an adult.
Isaiah was 2.
We're old.
Or 3, depending if it's 2010 or 2011.
Yeah, but I think I want it to be 2 things. So this was middle school, and I was in this club called AVID. I don't remember the acronym, like what it stands for, but it was kind of like an accelerated course for like
smart kids.
I guess we could call it smart kids.
I know what AVID is. My friend was an AVID.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you had to do like college portfolios, and I always did mine on like Juilliard. So like at this time, I really wanted to be like a singer or an actress, just literally anything in the arts. Yeah. And then my backup plan was to do martial arts, like teach and have a studio. But actually, the reason why I put these photos in specifically and why we're talking about this topic is because these are old, like forgotten photos, like put in a vault, locked away, like never talked about again. So like my sparring partner, because he also grew up doing martial arts, and so he has layers on layers, like from age like 3 and up of him just doing martial arts. And I was like, I know I have pictures, but I don't know where they are, because it's like kind of sad to think about it. So I like begged my dad. I was like, can we please have these photos? Like, where are they? Like, I want to see them. Mm-hmm. So I spent like my whole weekend. I have so many pictures of just me doing martial arts. And it was honestly both incredibly sad, but also like super nice to have, because I'm looking at these pictures and it's all people that just literally don't do it anymore, because the experience that we went through was so traumatic. They don't do it anymore. I'm the last one. But and like we're comparing pictures, me and my partner, and his are like happy and smiling, and I was like, yeah, we didn't smile in our pictures. We were told that it shows weakness and it's unprofessional. So I'm not smiling in like most of those photos. But we found out that I actually went to one of his tournaments, and in a frame I can see his dad and me, and we didn't even know each other. We just simply crossed paths. It's really cute.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
Super cute.
So something in the arts or martial arts?
Yeah, one of the two. Because I also knew I was not smart. I wasn't going to be an engineer or a doctor. Like, numbers, fuck that shit. Yeah. And at that time, social media marketing was not a thing. Social media was just up and coming, and people didn't think you needed it for marketing. Right. Did not know that marketing was even an option. So I was like, well, I'm either going to be homeless, or I'm going to do martial arts, or I'm going to sing. Yeah. Whichever one comes first.
I mean, you can do all 3 if you think about it.
I could.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, starving artist. Hey.
Exactly. And I mean, to be an engineer, you got to be pretty smart. You got to be kind of a nerd too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It takes a different type of brain cell to do that, and I don't have any.
Speaking of nerds, what did you want to do here, Courtney?
Yeah!
I knew you were going there. I knew it. I could just see it happening.
You look like such a nerd.
Look at the robotics captain here.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, you have to be safe. Safety first. Protect your eyes.
We stand a responsible team captain.
Yes. So funny thing is, I was captain of the robotics team. I was also president of the robotics club. Mm-hmm. And what was cool was that this was the first year. This was the inaugural year for robotics for our school, and we were late to the game. Considering we're a private school, we were late to the game on joining the robotics era. And first robotics is what this was the tournament that was doing all of this. And at this point in life, when I was younger, I wanted to be a large animal veterinarian. My whole life, that's what I wanted to do. Is I wanted to work with animals. I loved animals so much that I wanted to do, I didn't want to do cats and dogs. I wanted to do horses, and I wanted to do
elephants.
No, elephants. Oh. Yeah,
I forgot you don't like birds.
I don't like birds. I wanted to do elephants and tigers, and just I wanted to do basically my mindset was I was gonna go away to school and come home and try to work on my residency at the zoo, Honolulu Zoo. And I figured that, I would be the best fit to be a veterinarian at the Honolulu Zoo because I was already here. I was from here. They wouldn't have to, usually when we have animals problems here. We have to contract out. And my whole shtick was, you don't have to pay to fly somebody in anymore. I'll fix the animals. I'm already here. But then I got into high school and I got really into robotics because I liked playing video games. I liked setting up like the code for stuff. I was really heavy into my MySpace page and my Zanga and all the coding. And so finally with robotics, I was able to put all of that mindset into actual practical use. And there was only 2 of us that were female on this team, me and my best friend Malia. Our mentor was a female electrical engineer who worked at Pearl Harbor, and she was really, really awesome with the fact that there were girls on the team, and she, wanted me. She kept basically influencing me, like, you can do this. And my fear was, I'm not good at math. Math is my weakest subject, and this field requires a lot of math. And I kept telling her, I'm like, I don't think I could do, any of this as a life career because I'm not proficient in math. She's like, yes, but you are hardworking, you are charismatic, and every problem you face, whether it comes to coding or whether any of the problems with programming, you face it head on and you work around it. So during this phase, I wanted to be an engineer, and I wanted to try to work with robotics. And then I realized around graduation, when I was looking at all the courses I would need to take and how heavy math intensive it was, I unfortunately got, discouraged, and I didn't do it. And that's one thing I definitely kind of regret now, as I wish I had just stuck with it. She wrote me this amazing letter of recommendation that I could have used for college. And I feel a little bit like I let her down because she really wanted so much for me. She saw so much potential in me when I didn't see any of it in myself. And yeah, that's one of those things where I wish I had stuck with it because, it's one of those things where if you don't use it, you lose it, right? And I think my problem solving skills that I have now that I apply elsewhere in life stemmed very much from robotics because I kept hitting wall after wall of, okay, I can't figure this out because me and numbers, for whatever reason, my body just shuts down when it comes to having to deal with numbers. And then having to figure out workarounds. So, but I kind of wish I had stuck with robotics, and maybe I could have been coding and building better shit for the world today. Who knows?
I wish that like in school they taught you like, because obviously there's a major like engineering, doctor, or like accounting. I wish they told you the smaller facets, like coding. Like, yeah, it's math, but it's a different kind of math.
Yep.
I wish they taught you some of the subsections, because again, like there's like marketing, cool, but like there's other parts of marketing that you don't learn about. Like there's the representatives, there's your buyers, your sellers, blah, blah, blah. Same with like all of engineering.
Yep, there was so many facets, and that I probably could have if I just put my mind to it and just stuck it out, but that's okay.
It's fine.
How about you? It's fine. I don't cry about it at night. It's fine.
What about you, John?
So in this picture,
oh my god,
look at
God.
So I'm 17 here. You see in the background is the local skate park where we're just chilling between sessions here, just contemplating life. I don't know. My friend Jacob was like, "I'm gonna practice taking pictures." I'm like, "Okay." Look at me looking real contemplative. In the meantime, I'm like, after that, I'm like, that was stupid. Like,
let's go shit by a dumpster.
This might be that same day.
Oh my god,
love that.
Yeah, I didn't know what I wanted to. I wanted to be a lot of things. And I still kind of have this kind of issue as well. I want to do everything. And I think the problem is that I have this jack of all trades, master of none quality to myself that really, I think, hinders any kind of growth that I try to work myself into. Because if I work too hard at one thing and I get kind of good at it, I'm like, oh man, but I could be learning this instead and be getting good at that,
Right.
And that was me all through high school, pretty much after moving. I didn't really find an identity. I I skated with my friends because they like to skate, and I really enjoyed skating. It was a lot of fun, but I never got really good at it, and mainly it was just my form of just hanging out with them. Like, oh, well, you guys like skating, and I want to be around. I want to be where the people are. So let me get skating. And but like even at this point in time, I remember thinking, man, if I had a video camera and I skate and you guys went skating and I've recorded it and edited it and we could make cool content. Like I remember always just wanting to make content, and then like I'd have friends over and then like we'd play video games and we'd be laughing and be like, oh man, what if we recorded this and made fun content, and that'd be fun, like let's plays before let's plays were a thing, that sort of thing. And just being very discouraged because I never really got the support from my friends to pursue that sort of stuff or to do it, or I really have nobody to do it with. Like, yeah, they like joking around and having fun, but they never wanted to be in the spotlight like the way that I wanted to be in the spotlight. So I never had that kind of like creative circle to be around. And I look back and I wish that I would have done things like theater. But if I would have done things like theater, I probably would have found a different crowd, and I probably wouldn't have found the type of person that I am, because other things I did in high school, like I did backyard wrestling in high school. Like I would go to friends' houses and we would set up matches and we would have
all oily.
No, not quite.
No, not that way. More like think jumping off buildings and throwing chairs at each other.
Parkour.
Yes.
Yeah. So like, like I have a picture of myself. I need to find it. I'm doing basically I'm doing a flip off the back of a car onto another person. And this car is parked in the middle of like a backyard wrestling. And this is around that same era. So like I was like, oh, I could be a wrestler. Yeah, well, fuck it. I wanted to be a wrestler. I wanted to be an actor. I've always wanted to be an actor, and then I wanted to be a rapper, which you can see right here.
Yes. Look at
So
what are you rapping?
So this is my first time ever doing karaoke. My friends. So I'm older here, as you can tell. I think I'm like 22. My friends insisted that I come out and do karaoke, and I'm like, okay, whatever. So I pick a song, and I'm looking. I don't do this anymore. I'm looking at the screen because I'm afraid that I'm gonna forget the lyrics. But I picked Eminem. What the fuck is this?
Some Shady?
Hi, my name is
Some Shady?
Eminem.
Hi, my name is Ricka
My name
Slim
is
Shady.
My name is
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, what's called My Name Is.
Oh.
But like I know
Oh my god.
But I know the words, and I'm like nervous, and you could say that I'm looking at the lyrics here because I just didn't believe in myself. But I had so much fun and I really enjoyed it. And like karaoke just became like a regular thing that I did almost every week. Like every week I would go out and do karaoke and just rap the songs that I liked and that I knew. And it was just a lot of fun. And this was, I'm definitely 22 here. I have just gone out for the night. Isaiah was already born. I'm newly single, like that sort of situation. And my friends are like, come on out. And I'm like, okay, let's go. And I really enjoyed it, and it was a lot of fun. And to this day, if you guys ever want to take me out and someone mentions karaoke, then I'm probably there. I'm like, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what we're doing in April.
Right? Oh, dude. John, like in person at karaoke is fucking amazing. It's so good. So good.
And Courtney really likes like the little booths, like the very traditional little booths, but we don't have that here.
Right.
I've always been used to going in front of like basically I'm in front of the entire bar right here. And so this is not the same place that I took Courtney, but when Courtney came and visited, I took her to a place called Shamrocks that has a stage. So I went out on stage and I did
killed it.
And I did
have
karaoke.
Video.
That's dope.
It was a lot of fun. So I think that was like a unique experience for you too, Courtney, because I don't think you've ever been to a karaoke where the whole
No, not like that. Yeah, not where like usually I mean, we have a couple of like Korean karaoke bars where they have an outside area where people can sing in front of everybody, but it's not so much that they have a stage to sing on. They just sing from wherever they're they're sitting, and then it's just in front of everybody that way. But
most places
it's still
are
enclosed.
like that. Yeah, that place particularly because they do live events. That's why they have a stage.
It's really cool, and I really liked it. It's just really intimidating for your first time, especially like, okay, my karaoke experience, we're in booths, but also when we go out, especially like all the Hawaiians that went to the same school, I'm realizing that we don't actually tend to sing with the mics. We
You just
usually end up just
scream?
leaving the mics because everybody just sings really loud and sings together that nobody needs a mic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it. That's cute.
But yeah, as far as what I want to do and what I've wanted to do has always been entertain. So
Yeah.
do I feel like I'm doing it now? But who knows? Eventually maybe I'll do what I want to do.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me. Like, do you ever get asked like, "Hey, what's your dream job?"
All the time.
And like, how do you feel about that question? Either of you can answer.
I mean, for me at the time, or if I'm thinking like a handful of years ago, I'd be like, oh, like my dream job would like be on Broadway or like, you know, be an influencer or whatever. But now I'm just like, my dream job is just whatever is going to pay my bills, which is kind of soul crushing. But I don't think so much like having a job that you like, that you enjoy is obviously very important. But I don't think that's the end all be all. I think I found out, luckily very early on, that like I can have a pretty shitty job but still live a very fulfilled life if I have something that keeps me going. So I don't think it's more so like a dream job per se. It's just the dream living. You know, I've worked a shitty job, but I still was happy to wake up the next day because I had a good community. I had streaming. I had you guys. I had my martial arts. Like, yeah, I had to work a shitty 9 to 5, but like at least I had other fallbacks, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like for me, when people ask, the hard part is I had so many dreams that it's hard to say what your dream job is. Like for Sue, like I was a theater rat. There's a picture in this stream of pictures that I sent in of me after a theater performance, and I was this close to going to AMDA in New York for school, and because my dream was to be on Broadway. We had the summer before my senior year of high school, our drama club, it was a travel year, and my drama club went to New York for a week, and we saw Broadway shows, one right after the other, the whole week. And then we actually got to meet with the cast of Spamalot the night before we went to watch them, because we did a workshop with them where they taught us a musical number, and it gave us, and they did a Q&A with us, and you know, it was just our group, our small, I think there was maybe 10 of us.
Aww.
And then my mom was actually the female chaperone on this trip, which was really cool. So I got to do this trip with my mom. But, you know, we got to ask them questions about what their day-to-day is like, what it's like to be a Broadway actor. And a lot of them were very real with like, you know, a lot of times we live in an apartment with, you know, 10 other starving Broadway actors. And, you know, you're lucky if you get on Broadway, and you know, you're just constantly working and you're constantly auditioning and grinding. But the one thing that stuck with me, there's me and my mom and my 2 sisters.
This was the performance, right?
Yep, this is after the performance of Aida.
I love that musical.
Such
good. A beautiful script and storyboard. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so this was actually our last. This was after our last performance of Aida, because I can tell, because I usually at the end of curtain call, you choose what outfit you go out in to do your curtain call stuff, and usually I would just pick I was in the ensemble, and I would always just be in the slave outfit. So, but this one I was part of. There's a scene in the song for My Strongest Suit, and there's a music break where it's a fashion show, and
love that.
Our musical director for our choreographer, who was a local boy who actually went on to perform in Aida on Broadway, came back home. He picked the 4 people who would be this segment of, you know, the fashion show segment. And it was funny because he made all of us catwalk run to see who would pick. And out of all of the 15 of us who did the catwalk run, I was one of the 4 who I strutted my shit. And he was like, yep, you're going to be in the fashion show portion. That one. And so this was my fashion show outfit. And looking back on it, it was a bra. It was a bra, pants, and this lace cape thing. I worked it. But I really wanted to be on Broadway. And I wanted to do that as my dream job. And then also I wanted to be on, you know, in movies, because after high school I was in a film festival movie, which got to be played on the big screen at the movie theater, which was really cool, seeing myself blown up on a movie screen, which was crazy. And it just sparked that I just wanted to be in front of the camera. I wanted to act. I wanted to do all these things. So, I mean, I think that's kind of still why that's still the goal, partially, because that's why I love doing this show with you, John and Sue. That this kind of feeds that need to do creativity. But I also like photography, so I'm a photographer, a videographer. But like John said, I think we adapt, we change our dreams as we go along.
I think, like, looking back, like, if all the younger versions of me were to look at me now, like ex-Nate the job, I think they would just be happy of the way that I turned out. I think being career orientated and focused, even at a young age, is very important. But I think because we always, when we're talking about our dreams, it's always like career related, but it's never like, well, what kind of adult do you want to be? What kind of person do you want to turn out to be? And I think, like, I went through all the phases of angsty to preppy to emo, and I've found a nice little middle ground where, like, I live by the motto of I'm the only one that has to sleep with myself at the end of the day. So I might as well like myself. And I think I like myself. I love myself, but there's a difference between liking someone and loving someone, you know? Like I love parts of my family, but I don't like them. I love and like myself. And I think, like, again, even with a shitty 9-to-5 or even a good one, like, I'm pretty happy and content with what I have now. And I think they would be too.
I think it's important to love and like yourself. I think it's also more important to say you would make love to yourself. Would you make love to yourself?
Oh, every night.
I absolutely do. I mean,
I'm gonna do it after this stream.
Well, the reason I asked that question, not that question, but the one about, you know, what you feel about the question of what is your dream job, you know? We get asked that so early in life. How are you going to ask a 13, 14, 15-year-old what their career choices are? I feel like that's too soon and unfair.
Yeah.
And realistically, my dreams don't include labor. So the word
I
dream,
want to work.
yeah, exactly. The word dream job is an oxymoron. I don't think that it's fair to even like ask that sort of stuff. Like, where do you see yourself? What do you want to do? I mean, honestly, what I want to do is hardly related to
slaving away for a 9-to-5.
Yeah, for a company that doesn't care about me, that sort of stuff, you know, like,
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't include any of that. It includes being independent and doing what I want and making my own hours and being the type of person that I'm proud of and not selling out and, you know, and I think that's kind of the hardest part is like, you know, you take a look at what it takes to make it in corporate America or even in the acting world or whatever it is. And it's like, do I want to sacrifice my morals to make it work? You know, like
how much am I willing to forego to make these ends meet?
Yeah.
Yep. And that's constant. And unfortunately, that's not the stuff they teach you when they're asking you, what do you want to be when you grow up? They don't ask you what they should be asking as you get into high school and you're becoming self-aware. Because what I've learned as an adult now, I mean, I'm still learning, but I'm learning, what are you willing to adjust and sacrifice?
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally the question. It's not about what you want to be, because it's so easy to eventually get to the decision, like, you know what? I want to be a actress. I want to be a bum. I want to be a horse. Like, it's so easy to say what you want to be. The real hard part is, what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to give up in order to achieve that goal? Like, to be an actor, you have to give up sleep. You have to give up, sometimes you're, like John said, sometimes you have to give up certain morals or certain, like,
no, I know
each thing.
I know we started with this clip, but I want to show it again, and I want to show kind of like the nuance behind this, something that you kind of overlook when you're a little kid.
Amen.
But
If you don't like it,
like,
I can have you fired.
Angelica's the boss, right? And they're in hell.
That is hell.
That is
hell. Look at her hair. Look at her hair.
The
She's
devil.
that actual whore.
Reptar,
To
the
be
background, the chair.
To be an adult, to have a career, to live in corporate America, to work in corporate America, you're selling your soul at that point.
No, I sell my soul every day. If you watch my content on Instagram, I'm selling my soul, and I'm okay with it because I can afford to do that.
I think, yes, and I think that there's a very top level, surface level kind of selling that you're doing. It looks, first of all, it looks very fun. It looks like you get to put your own twist on it.
Thank God.
It looks like you can be yourself and you're not putting on, they're not asking you to be over, and not that there's anything wrong with it. That's your career choice, not speaking to you directly, Sue, but they're not asking you to be over sexualized. They're not asking you to do anything that you're not comfortable doing, is what I can, from what I can tell.
Yeah.
And I think
Thank
that's important to find that balance. You know, if
There
you
it
can
is.
if you can live with yourself at the end of the day and be like, I did what I needed to do to make it another day, then I think that's great. I think that's the only thing we can ask for. It's when you want to make it up the corporate ladder and you realize that you're not only are you stepping on people on the way up, but you're also pushing people down. You're
turning people away,
making backhanded deals, you know, literally selling your soul. That's when I don't want to be that's when I don't want to be a big people anymore.
I don't want to be a big people
I don't want
anymore.
responsibilities anymore.
Exactly.
I love that.
I think this is a good episode. What do you think?
I think so.
Should we call it?
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think we should call it.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. If you don't want to be a big people anymore, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't comment your dream job, but instead, if you could do something and money wasn't a factor, what is it that you would be doing right now?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then work towards it.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's thank our Patreon patrons.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's go
Good
ahead.
job, Courtney.
Thank you.
And show this and hide this. If you see your name on the board right now, that is a huge thank you to our Patreon patrons. Thank you so much for supporting us and supporting the show. If you want your name on the screen right here, it's very simple. Just go to patreon.com/talklimited. Check out the link in the description. All tiers get a thank you at the end of the stream. And thank you all for being here. Thank you so much for chatting. Thank you so much for commenting. Please, since you're here, since you've made it this far, subscribe.
Like the video.
Share the video. Like the video. Leave a comment. Oh, so I did not know this. Comments push the algorithm, everybody. So even if
anytime they engage, they love that shit.
Yeah. So even if you've already watched the video, just leave a comment at the end.
That would just be a heart. It don't gotta be a paragraph. An emoji, smiley face.
No, it doesn't have to be anything. Unless you want to write a paragraph to us and tell us how beautiful I am. I mean, I'm okay with that too.
All right, guys. Well, with that said and done and out of the way.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.